For anyone trying to break into a networking career, the certification landscape used to be this incredibly confusing maze of different specializations. But since 2020, Cisco has really simplified things by consolidating all its entry-level tracks into one single exam, the CCNA 200 to 301. It's a 2-hour session covering everything from theory to live simulations, and it's basically become the industry standard.
Exactly. And the return on investment is what's really catching people's attention. We're looking at average salaries in the UK around £68,000 for certified engineers. It's no longer just about knowing how to plug in a router. It's about proving you have that full stack of foundational networking knowledge. The CCNA isn't just a certificate. It's like a £68,000 a year passport to the industry that proves you can actually build what you talk about.
So it's a high-stakes exam with a huge payoff, but to get that salary, you have to master the actual syllabus, which really starts with the bread and butter of networking, the fundamentals and access.
Right. If you look at the syllabus breakdown, 3 areas, network fundamentals, network access, and IP connectivity, account for a massive 65% of the exam score. This is where you cover the physical hardware, how to configure VLANs, and the core logic behind how routers actually move data using protocols like OSPF.
That makes sense. It's the core infrastructure.
It's the entire foundation. If you fail these sections, you fail the exam. You have to know why a specific single-mode fiber cable is used over multi-mode, or how a switch learns a MAC address. It's essentially the physics of the digital world.
So is it mostly just memorizing hardware specs and protocols?
Not at all. And that's the aha moment for most people. It's all about logic. For instance, understanding the longest match rule in routing isn't just a random trivia point. It's the fundamental law that prevents the entire global internet from sending your email to the wrong continent. If you don't get how a router chooses a path, you're just a spectator in your own server room.
Got it. So mastery of that physical and logical core is completely non-negotiable. But I guess once you get the traffic flowing, you have to keep it safe and smart, which brings us to the more modern side of networking.
Precisely. The final pieces of the puzzle are security and automation, which make up 15% and 10% of the exam, respectively. The exam tests you on everything from setting up IPsec VPNs to the latest WPA3 wireless security. But the biggest change is that it requires you to interpret JSON code.
JSON? That sounds more like web development than networking.
And that's the point. This is where the CCNA shows it's keeping up. It's acknowledging that just using the command line interface, or CLI, is becoming a secondary skill. The future is programmable. If you can't read an API call or understand what a controller like Cisco DNA Center does, you're going to be left behind.
So why should a network engineer care about APIs? What's the so what there?
Because that's the reality of modern IT. When a company needs to update security policies across 50 global offices, they don't want someone logging into 50 different routers one by one. They want an engineer who can push one single update via an API. It's about scale. The old-school engineer configured one switch at a time. The modern CCNA engineer writes a script that configures 1,000 switches before their coffee gets cold.
It's clear the role is evolving from a hands-on mechanic to more of a system architect. So let's wrap this up. What are the essential takeaways for anyone looking to tackle the syllabus?
Well, if we boil it all down, there are a few key things. First is the 65% rule. Network fundamentals, access, and IP connectivity are your pass or fail sections. Master them. Second, programmability is now mandatory. You can't ignore it. Understanding REST APIs, JSON, and controller-based logic is a core requirement. Third, security is fully integrated, not an afterthought. It covers everything from physical device passwords to wireless protocols. And finally, the career ROI is still incredibly high. At an average salary of over £68,000, the CCNA 200 to 301 remains one of the most lucrative entry to mid-level certifications you can get in networking today.